Hey everybody, Whitney Whitaker with Milligan Valley Dog Training, here to talk a little bit today about tools. Regardless of the profession or trade that we're talking about, there's various different tools to achieve the desired results that we're looking for. Let's take dentistry for example. Suppose you saw a dentist who only pulled teeth. For him, the forceps was the end-all be-all tool. And so if you had a chipped tooth, it was getting pulled. You're probably going to look for a different dentist. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Let's say you have an abscess tooth, a tooth that's throbbing, that's aching, that's waking you up at night. It's very painful to you. And your dentist says, sometimes root canals can be a little bit uncomfortable. Here's a toothbrush and here's a spool of floss. Why don't you just work on your oral hygiene and try to ignore that pain and hope it goes away? What? That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's talk about dogs now. I'm a balanced dog trainer. And what that means is I believe in both yes and no. Of course I reward dogs. Of course I'm right here saying, good job, keep doing that. Of course I'm here to praise them, okay? And to mark good behaviors, okay? But what happens when the dog is lunging, jumping, pulling, reactive, getting in the trash, chasing cars? The list goes on and on. I can't just reward over here for, sitting for a treat and ignore the fact that the dog is lunging at the neighbor or getting in the trash. You can't ignore it and hope it goes away. We need to fix it. So let's dive into my dog training toolbox here for a moment. Here, I have a clicker, which marks good behavior. We use that a lot, works really well. We also have treats, which are also used to reinforce and mark good behavior. We use those. Talk about lunging and pulling. I see that a lot. Maybe you've been at the vet's office and you see it. Maybe you see dogs, walking down the sidewalk. Maybe your very own dog does it. Okay? So you put them on a flat buckle collar, which is going to create direct pressure right here in the trachea as soon as there's tension on the leash, and the dog is reacting, pulling, lunging, barking, and there's direct pressure there. Okay? Let me introduce you to the prong collar. Beautiful tool, beautiful tool. I love it. Herm Springer is the brand I use. It's a great brand. Okay? Now you might say to yourself, ooh, does that hurt the dog? Oh, I don't want to do that. Newsflash, the dog that's, pulling and lunging on a flat buckle collar where half his wind is getting, restricted, that's not very comfortable. So, prong collar, it looks very uncomfortable. Meanwhile, I could size that down and wear that as a watch all day long, and I'll probably even forget that it's there. It has even pressure, not direct pressure, okay? So the dog goes to pull and you go, whoop, not so fast, buddy. And it's just a little pop and release, a little pop and release, okay? Great tool, really, really good tool. Don't judge a book by its cover there. Herm Springer, that's the brand to get. All right, what else we got here? Remote collars. Oh, I love remote collars. These are a fantastic tool when used correctly. And we call them remote collars and not shock collars. And here's the reason why. Old sports dog shock collars that had 10 levels on it, pretty much each of those levels, and it would increase, but pretty much each level was going to give a jolt of some sort. These don't. These don't. This brand that I use, Mini Educator here, it has 100 levels. Okay, so that's a lot of leverage. It's a lot of leverage. Most of the time, we are working in really, really low levels. To help you appreciate how low, most people don't even feel this until I get up to a level 11. I would say 95% of the dogs I work on level 10 and below. And again, most people don't even feel it to level 11. I've even had some people in here haven't felt it to about a 17. Okay, that's high. Again, most dogs I work are 10 and below. Anyway, we work with a pressure on, pressure off theory this kind of at the low levels kind of gives the dog a tap on the shoulder kind of thing. So don't look at it as every time you're hitting the button, it's a shock, it's a jolt, because it's not. However, I believe in transparency. I told you it goes to 100. If I needed to give a dog a good correction for something that could cost the dog its life, I have no problem doing that. Let's talk about that. Dogs that chase cars, dogs that get into the trash, dogs that counter surf, and the list goes on and on. Dogs die every day from those behaviors. They have to be stopped. Do I want to give a dog a high-level correction on a remote collar? No, I don't. Doesn't make me feel good. However, do I want to see the dog live for many years? Yes, absolutely. So again, dogs die from these behaviors that are being ignored. Let's just fix them and move on with our lives. It's part of keeping the dog safe. So that was a short look into my toolbox as a balanced dog trainer. Hope this helped you out a little bit. As I always say, whether you're going to hire a dog trainer or whether you're going to do some dog training on your own, do your research. Okay, do your research on these tools. If you're gonna watch some YouTube videos and train on your own, which you can do your research. If you're wanting to hire a dog trainer, always do your research. Always do your research to make sure you find a good fit for you and your dog. All right, guys, talk to you later.